Hello, welcome to Lovely Libra Healing. This is going to be a read for Martin and Brenda Brodel. And this read is kind of for for Janine Morajo because we both like Martin Brodel and his researching like beautiful wife, Brenda, and he just has like such beautiful things to say. And I have to tell you, I started this video, and then it said I didn't have enough space in my camera, and so I had to like delete some videos. But then I went outside and I saw a finch in my yard. And then I looked up in this Animal Speaks book by Ted Drews. Now I don't necessarily agree with every especially like the insect and the amphibians and reptile, like there's some iffy, but sometimes you look at stuff that you see something in nature and you're like, I wonder if it's in this book, and then something surprising happens, and like the meaning for finch is so cute, and like actually kind of like a miracle within itself, like if you really have like a higher perspective on. So okay, finch. Increased activity. Activity increases around you. Greater opportunities are at hand. They will not be lost, so just do what you can. And that's like slow going, easy peasy, lemon squeezy kind of stuff that I like. Like I like to just like go with the flow and grow with the flow and kind of stuff like that. All right, so I am gonna do a reading for Brenda and Martin. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it like side by side, or should I do one and then the other, and then should I just start with Brenda because she's like in the background. I don't know if you know that. It's like Third Eye Blind song, Background. It's a good one. All right. Should I do a general reading for Martin and Brenda as a couple? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do that. All right. Now, I did learn tarot from Janine. Now, I don't draw from the top sometimes. And when I do these quick reads. Okay, so this is, I'm going to just do kind of a, this is like who I'm talking about. And since I'm talking about two people, I'm going to just use like multiple cards if they fall out like that. So this is you guys. I'm going to cover that one up. So this is the lover's card. This Four of Pentacles, and then the wise old soul, the hermit. All right. What I get from this is that like you guys are like high vibrational love matches. And it's interesting because this card I get like you guys are like, you guys can go in the city and you can go in the country. You can go in the mountains, or you can go in the woods. Or you can like go to the beach, or you can go to a tropical rainforest. Like you guys could just like really be like lovely lovers and wise old souls, like wherever you want. And that's beautiful because that's totally what I get from you. And I think I feel like that's why me and my mom both really like you, as as truthers too, like totally as truthers, but just as people in general. So yeah, so this is what's going on in your like what we're gonna talk about, because I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about with you guys, because you guys are just so like on it for being like what you guys consider elderly. I don't really consider you guys elderly, but sometimes you would say that. But like seriously, you guys are like so active, and so it's such a beautiful thing. Beautiful collaboration. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. So it's the Two of Swords, and then I'm just gonna read them in pairs with the Seven of Wands. So I get that you guys like are unique. You almost like the way Brenda researches, she almost becomes like a force within herself with information. And that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like that's the kind of energy I get from this. Like her intuitive research is just like boom, and it like makes almost like informational like foundation. All right, so the next two cards. You guys are like independent and you have like an elemental quality about you, especially like kind of where you've lived and where you live right now and where you're going to live in the future. Like you're like around a lot of plants, you know. So if you're not around a lot of plants now, in the future, you'll probably be like, you know, plants and rocks and stuff. Yeah. And like you're very like divinely connected with it. So you will experience a type of like Martin, it's like your like good luck magic is like you have that kind of stuff going on. And I see Brenda shaking her head. Okay, so one of you or both of you love peanut butter because right before I turned this camera on, I took a big scoop of Jif peanut butter and just ate it. And I was like, well, who does that? Which one of you? Both of you? You should try milk chocolate chips with them. You can get them at like Aldi for like $3. Milk chocolate chips. And just, yeah, and the dogs can have some too. Like milk chocolate is really, really good for fear. And yeah, you know, you should maybe like look with your divine tools if like chocolate is really bad for dogs. Because I don't know if, you know, I don't know if they tell us the truth about a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? So anyway, so this is kind of what we're talking about right now. So there's like a transition and like you guys see like opportunity and you guys totally see like things going kind of on the right side of right, you know? And you guys are like being all beautiful and like filling each other's cups with reciprocity. And you see a lot of opportunities, you know, happening. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about with you guys. That's the situation. Now, that's a lot of cards for just explaining you guys as a couple. That is a lot of cards. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to do like a recent past uh, shuffle, a nowy wowie moment shuffle, and then the outcome. And then to clarify everything, I'll do an ending shuffle. So that's what we're going to talk about. But the other side of that is kind of looking at that as like a general population perspective and seeing that like maybe some people are kind of more like crying over spilled milk and like looking at chaos and conflict and like what kind of energies are really uh you know like fueling that. And maybe that's what uh Brenda has kind of a focus on with what she researches. I'm not sure, you know. I don't like babysit my truthers, even though I really, really love them. Okay, so it's funny because I'm looking at this like Funny Bone Comedy Club. Like I was painting and I was using this plastic cup, and I just wonder if like that you guys ever been to like a comedy club or something like that, or maybe like a haunted comedy club. Oh, probably you've probably been to one of those or something like that. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, you see, that's this cup of coffee is for my mom because she has like buy me a coffee, and to subscribe to her channel, it's like the cost of a latte. So that's my coffee for Janine, and that's Fluffy. That's Fluffy Flufferson, and that's Michelangelo. My niece painted that. My son's name is Mikey, and that's a shark. That's Reef. That's my son's shark, and that's my son's stuffed animal, black cat. That's Felix. And Felix says, "Hi, Betty." And then I don't know this little guy's name, but I think his name is Chase. But I can't remember. But wolves are really, really important. They're really, really important. Because my son said strong wolf to me in Indigenous Week at school when he was like 9. And you know, Janine, stuff happens at 9, and stuff happened at like in my life at 9. So I really paid attention to my son's like happenings at about the age of 9, especially. I mean, I paid attention to all of it, but yeah. And then the Ninja Turtles. We chose the turtles. We didn't choose frogs, so I don't know what their problem is. We chose turtles because that's why Janine calls Toad, that Ashley's cat, like turtle, because she's like, we chose the turtles. Yeah, because she kind of knows I'm Raph a little bit, and that I should be like the leader. But then we have like these like, oh well, katanas, swords. Like I'm a Libra. I use feathers. Come on. All right, so this is the recent past. So you're kind of looking at like how like especially like legacy media like breadcrumbs and stuff, and then even the government spending, they try to like placate the general public with like EBT spending cards. And this is like your guys' like mission. Like this is like a mission that you guys have. So it's not just like you guys are just like, oh, we're just gonna be like conspiracy Charlize Therons all the time, like, you know, or just that's, you know. And look, you guys have like a natural leadership and a natural magic with it. So that needs to be honored and protected by yourselves, and just the awareness of it is a protection. And so, like, you guys are looking at kind of like surprising immature behavior of the past, and you're like, well, we're ready for like a surprise, we're ready for a surprise. And then it says like an act of kindness, on the bottom. So that's like the recent past. So I don't know if this act of kindness is in the recent past, or if this is something coming forward, that maybe that's the surprise. Maybe this surprise in this cup is this act of kindness. It could be. Could be. All right. I'm pretty accurate. I'm kind of like my mom, pretty accurate. But, I haven't read for 8 years. So I haven't like studied for 8 years. So I haven't yet to charge for a tarot reading. You know, it's one of those things. Okay, so this is Nowie Wowie moment. This is my creative strength card, because the animals are helping, and like I be knowing that like Brenda knows that the animals be helping. I know she be knowing that. So don't even say that. I don't. Okay. Okay. All right. And yeah, now you wowie moment. So this is creative strength, especially to like people who just want to argue, and I guess we would call them like bots, or um, like controlled opposition, or like gang stalkers on like media or something. But yeah, just like we don't need no hateration in this dancery, right? Right. All right. Oh, this is awesome. So, yeah, so I mean, there it's gonna be like an emotional kind of revelation, but this was like kind of like this. So, this is like the Nowie Wowie moment. So like revelations, but it might be like loving revelations, but like with maybe seeing upheavals, but like looking at him with a divine wisdom, and knowing that you have, especially the children, you know, the young ones, and like looking at things as like the children, designing a world that really, really naturally encourages the natural development of children is like such a beautiful thing that the sun card came out. It's like such a beautiful thing that this sun card came out. It was like, yeah, let's do it like that. Let's forget about what we think our kids need. Because, like, clown world, seriously. Okay, so the outcome. So I'm gonna put these cards back. So the outcome, like you guys are looking at things carefully, and like, but you also have like a playfulness to you as a couple that I love. I love that stuff because some of these situations I find myself in, the only thing I can do is really make fun of them, like relentlessly, with like a lot of sarcasm and a lot of wit and a lot of like funniness. But it's really like that's a coping tool, but it's also like a form of therapy that should not be like negated by, stupid SNL skits that mean like something else. But like, oh, they gotta tell you the truth somehow and stupid sketch comedy shit. But we can do that with them. Seriously. Kid snippets, like kids explaining like how adults are stupid, but like spiritual stuff with a practicality. It's like beautiful. All right. So, now Wowie moment. You guys are moving forward. You guys have like a natural emotional healing just as people. And it's actually like really, really rare that like in the healing community that elders are like considered teachers. And you're like guidance teachers for the elders and even like the 50 somethings and the 40 somethings. You know, they kind of got, you know, uh, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and school was like the hardest it was ever. Like it was the hardest ever in my years in school. And I still just managed to Doogie Howser that stuff. Like seriously, I only went like 2 days a week, like junior and senior year, and I still graduated with like a 3.7. So I was like, I'm done with this high school stuff before I even started it. Anyway, so this could be, I feel like this is like heart healing, but like with sovereignty. Wouldn't you say that? Like independent heart healing, but like, let me just do like one more shuffle to kind of, I'm going to do one more shuffle for the outcome. If there's something, okay, there's nothing. Okay, but it has the justice on the bottom. So it's like there's some kind of karmic and just reason for that. So, you know. Okay. So this is going to be the clarifying cards for the entire spread. So I just did like a really in-depth kind of Conchina knife spread for you. And all right, so it looks like you're kind of like watching and waiting and ready for your natural magic. So sunflowers are part of the dandelion family. So you should check your divine tools and see if you're part of the dandelion family or if you're part of the sunflower tree. So that would be probably a good thing to check. Because it did say you guys were like wise old souls and stuff, you know? So like divine family kind of, you know? Sunflower trees and stuff. Okay, so this is, so you guys have kind of like a completion with your destiny and you're like moving out of troubled water with it. And it looks like you have like a lot of betrayals, but like all these swords, you're like, look at all these freaking swords we have. Look at all this information we have. And this is like divine intervention for you. And it's like gonna amp up. Isn't that great? That's awesome. Yeah, my nieces, Danny and Stevie. I call her Dandy though. Dandy and Stevie Zoe. Yeah, they made me that picture. And oh, like this is for my mom because my son Mikey Mo, he would make these donut jokes about cops, and the cops are not very friendly to me. And so I bought a coffee for my mom, okay? But then I got this for Mikey. Donut cop. It's like, why did the cop jump off the bridge? because they took a donut and went. Okay. Bye, bye, Brenda and Martin.